I won't grind while you.
Oh, you know.
I didn't know you were filming.
Okay, anyway, so what I usually do, and everybody, and honestly, you could, as long as you follow basically how this works, however you want to clean these tools and not get clay down the sink is you know, the way you do it. So I usually just throw them in here for now. And then some people throw in a lot of water, and it looks like you guys did not, because I think Jamie told you not to throw in a lot of water. But some people do. So I always tell people to like just collect the water with your sponge. And then this is not really water. And then just
I don't have one drip.
put it back. Like I'm just cleaning this out and just putting it back in here. So I could pretty much clean.
So we should put the clay in there.
Well, yes, the wet soppy clay, yes, you should put in there. And so I could clean a lot of this with my dirty water. And let me get my wheel spinning. Hold on. Okay. So a lot of it was cleaned off, cleaned out. It's all in here. Oops, I got more stuff. Okay. And these two actually unhinge. So I'm going to bring these to the sink. I'm going to bring this over to the sink. And I'll show you if you guys want to come over, and I'll show you what to do over here. All right. You guys want to come over anyway, just for
Yeah.
Okay, so let me explain. This is garbage. Sorry, I'm sorry. All right, so this is slop, which also gets recycled, and I'll show you how this works. Anything in your container. This is why we have the fill line down here and not up here, because you're going to dump this in there, and then all the clay gets in there, and then we have two more containers in the back. And when this fills up, the clay falls to the bottom, and then the water goes to the second one. And then if that fills up, the water goes to the third one.
Okay.
And it filters out. And then it's pretty much clean water, and then we just dump it back in here. Okay. And that fills up with slop, and that does get recycled to those buckets. So it's not all 20 buckets are over there, but I know a lot came out of this thing. So let me just put my tools to the side here. I probably shouldn't have put them in here. Let me just get some of the clay off the tools. Alright, so all this goes in here. Okay, you don't have to scrape, you could just leave it there. Tom comes and he scrapes this. This is, sometimes it pushes through if you push too hard. This is like a screen. Alright, then I'm gonna get like maybe just a little more water in here, and now I can actually clean my tools a lot better with just a little bit of water.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they're pretty, you know, they're like this. Some people don't care and they just leave them like that. I have to wash them off. I'm a very neat person. Mm-hmm. I can't leave my tools like that.
Right.
But some people leave the clay all over them. So at this point, I'm just going to leave them on the side.
So you're doing that to get the excess off?
Yeah, all the clay off. This also, if you're here and you're in your open studio and you don't want to, like there's 8 people now. To do everything in this red bucket, you'll be fighting over the red bucket. So that's why I say just put a little more water in here. But you're very welcome to like take your tools and clean them in this much bigger bucket, because this is the same thing. And then this, if you had any leftover stuff, you literally could just, you know, get it all in there. And then, please don't run water in here, but you can clean this out in here. Or your little bucket, or you could get water and clean it out in there. So there's 3 like options of where to clean it out when you're cleaning. Sometimes 8 people trying to clean at the same time. is not good, so then I'll do the same thing with this. Alright, so that's pretty clean enough to just clean it out. I'm gonna get this in there, and then I'm gonna, there's a lot of chunks on the bucket here. Alright. I'm going pretty fast, you don't have to go this fast. Oh, it should be right there. So this bucket can be rinsed out and wiped down now and put back up in here. People aren't really cleaning things properly. These are a mess. It would be nice if people clean better. Put this here. Same with the bats. Those bats look amazing because we have Carmine here, and Carmine cleans all the bats for us. But usually people put the bats back with clay on them. All right, I'm going to leave this here for now, but I want to go over to the other, so back to the wheel to show you how to clean the wheel.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to take one of these sponges. I'm also going to grab a microfiber cloth because these are great for the wheel, the bottoms of the wheel. All right, here is, this is your little guy. There's a bed on here. Right, you got one? So this is a great tool. Is this yours, Phyllis?
No,
So there's one of these tools here. Somebody's husband made them for us, and you easily can make them. It's just a screwdriver, and it's great
Oh, that's awesome.
for taking the bats off. So this bat obviously would have to be scraped and washed. So this all has to be cleaned. And I usually do this twice. I'll go back and get the sponge again. And I'll run the wheel.
And you squeeze that sponge out into the red bucket after it has clay on it?
Oh, you can squeeze it into it if it's a lot of clay, yes. The microfiber sponge, if clay gets like down the legs, because sometimes it splatters all over the place, the microfiber sponge is a lot better than this sponge to clean the legs because there's so much clay in this, and when it dries, I don't see anything. It's just all clay smeared down the side of the leg. And then the tables need to be cleaned with either sponge.
Right here is the microfiber?
There's a bunch always hanging around on the sink, wet, or I'll show you where they are over there. So that's how this gets cleaned. Like I said, I would do it again. I would clean everything in there, bring it back over, and stack everything. But since I have you, can everybody just walk over to the over here for a second? Because I just want to go over the rainbows now that actually on my camera, and I might as well, and explain what these are. So obviously this is where you get your fresh clay from. This clay is all pugged right out of the box. You can throw a clay out of the box. People freak out, there's no more clay left, where are we getting clay? Open the box up, it's the same stuff. We just keep recycling clay, so we pug it. If these are rainbows, so at the end of the class, most of these rainbows probably can be wedged right now, meaning you recycle it and you put it back in here. So I'm taking a look now and I see like little things like this. I mean, yes, it goes in there, but this isn't really user-friendly for anybody right now. So it would be nice on camera to just combine some of these, and I would wedge it into at least a bowl that somebody can use. You know, because those little things can't be used. So I'm just going to wedge it a bunch of times and put it into a lump of clay and put it in here. So yeah, there's like a lot of little pieces that now we end up taking out to try to re-wedge. Anyway, so the rainbows. Some of them feel like they're too wet, but I definitely can wedge these guys. So I'm gonna take them and I'm gonna start wedging, and it's gonna stick to the blue stone right now. Actually, it's not even sticking up bad. So I'm gonna move it over a little, and then I'm gonna move it again because the blue stone is taking water out of this. So now that's how I got those 3 wedged. And then there's a nice little piece that goes in here. I probably do, like here's a really, let me get a really messy one. And you'll see what I mean. Like it, right, it's gonna stick. But if I keep moving it, and I gotta get a scraper. Usually there's a scraper here. See, I mean the water's coming out.
Yeah.
And now you could definitely, is there a scraper? Yeah, thanks.
There is now, magically off
Wow.
camera.
The lost and found. So that was easily wedged up even though it was wet.
Right.
So and that's something I don't think many people know, that you can actually wedge probably, maybe not this stuff, because this is very goopy on here, but definitely these could be wedged too. So after you put the rainbows up here at the end of the period, class time, you take them and you just grab, and you can help people out and grab 2 together. So at least they're nice balls for people that, if they come and they can do it. So these go in here. Now let's just say you have a very hard piece of clay. That's what this is. It says do not put failed pots in this bin. These are the failed pots. Okay, they go over there. So when you look in here, a lot of people do end up putting, well, some people don't, like stuff like this from hand building goes in there. Something that's super hard that you're not going to be able to throw with goes in there. And then trimmings go in here. And there's a trimmings video that I'll send everybody. Like I know this is the trimmings. So I know Phyllis and a few of you know what trimmings are. You just wet the trimmings and you make them into a ball and stick them in here. So this is stuff that is too hard to actually wedge. The trimmings you can't throw with anymore, so they go in here. Eventually this fills up and we recycle the clay again. So I think, does anybody have any questions about any of this?
Sweep, and then we mop
Oh,
the floor.
yes, thank you. Yeah, so at the end of the class, you could handle it any way you want as a class. One person every week could decide who's mopping the floor. Like for open studio, I end up just mopping the floor at the end. If you're here alone at some point, I'll show you where the mop is. I'll show you how to do that. And then you mop your area. Everybody cleans up everything they touched, which is the floor, the stool, the wheel. Then you clean up common areas. Like this at the end of class needs to be wiped down with a sponge. You know, once the rainbows go in. Because see how it gets, you know, you want to leave it the way you got it. You came in this morning. That gets cleaned up. The sink gets wiped down with a microfiber cloth. If you wipe it down with these, for some reason these just leave residue over everything. This is great for the wheels, great for the splash pans, but the microfiber cloth is best on all the stainless steel tables. Let me show you where the mop is. Yeah, this is usually how the bats get left over here. I know you've probably seen it. They usually don't get washed up. Okay, this is the mop, and I suggest, should I get in here?
Yes, let me get this guy out of here. I want to be out of your way completely. I'm not.
Thank you. All right, and I suggest taking the pink bucket, filling this with water. Don't take this and go mop because you have no idea how somebody left this. I mean, they mop and they hang it up, and this is now filled with clay. So I end up just filling the bucket and getting the dirt out. So I know right now it's clean because Martha was here this morning. We have a cleaning person. So this is always clean with a little bit of soap in it, which is really nice.
And then what do we do with the water from the pink
So I
bucket?
just, we just dump it in down the drain. Like I said, I mean, we had this filter because we know clay gets down the sink,
Right.
and it won't go into the septic, but too much clay went down the sink, which now I have to recycle and get somebody to go pick it up. So, So then that's, the mop is fine, you mop around. Sometimes I change the water out. If you're gonna do the whole studio, or maybe I would wash the mop off twice to do it, because then you just start moving around clay. There was one more thing I wanted to say. Oh, I wish I remembered.
The bone dry pieces of clay? The bone dry pieces of clay?
Oh, no, the bat. The leaving pieces on bats. So, we try to get everything off the bats. If you want to leave it on a bat, like you just can't get it off, that's fine. You do have an extra 2 hours, either on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Monday morning, and Tuesday morning. On Friday, we send out an email, and you could sign up for open studio time. So you get 2 hours, so you could wait a few days. You are free to come in anytime you want to just check on your pots, rewrap your pots, take them off the bats. So the studio is always open for you guys to come in and just rewrap. And what I mean by rewrap is, and I was doing it while you guys were on the wheel, some people leave stuff on, those wood pieces are called bats. Like this person left it right on this bat. And what, oh no, we wrapped this one. What happens is they mildew. And I could show you one from the, we took them all off. So we run out of these bats. That's why you shouldn't be leaving them on the bats. But let me show you one of the wood pieces, the wear boards, and show you what happens when you leave the pieces on. I'm gonna take it out of the garbage because I need to throw it out. So, yeah, that's now all mildew because a piece was left for a week wrapped up. So you can leave it on here the next day, come back, or 2 days later, come back, rewrap it, and make sure the plastic is under and it goes in the pot.
If the plastic was under, it wouldn't mildew?
Under the piece?
No, it's under the piece. It wraps like this. So.
Oh, no, right. I was just saying that mildew because somebody left it on there, they didn't wrap it under.
Yeah.
Because then you're trapping water.
Yeah, right,
Yep.
of course. Okay.
But sometimes it's too wet to do this. I don't know how far you guys live, if you work, if you go back the next day. You can loosely just lay over, loosely lay a piece over like this overnight, come back the next day, then you can wrap it. You
But
don't
if
want
you're not gonna be back for the week, then what do you do if you?
I would try to, you're not gonna come back for open studio?
No, I don't know, I'm saying if there happens
What
to
is
be a
this,
week.
are we on a Thursday? Friday, Saturday? I mean, you could leave it for 2 days. You can ask a friend. You can ask the teacher because Jamie comes in. She's here all week. Just say, hey, can you rewrap this for me? Most teachers are here a lot of days, so they'll help you out. Like I know Dawn takes care of everybody's pieces. That's another teacher. So, all right, is that good? Everybody answer those questions? Okay, hopefully it's good, very good. All right, thank you.
Yes.